Okay. Where are you from, Vince? In Brazil. Oh, so right around. Oh, okay. I didn't even get over the Tyson about 21 days for my dream. I go along with
So
from where?
we need to
Is that where you were?
No.
Sorry, talk yourself.
If you're familiar with the road that goes from Fredericksburg down to Wilton, it's a little teeny town. Virginia, but Virginia. One place or another, but I was going to say, my relatives came from Bristol, England, 379 years ago. Both teams both. Yeah. They had to be quite nothing, so.
Have I ever done anything? I'm health licensed, but I ain't. But I not tell you the first thing on how to sell it, who to sell it to.
Really?
Yeah, health license. You need the health insurance.
My mother and father, they went to school in Europe. My father in England. What does he? Science. Devoted science.
Hey guys.
My mother research science.
And then Hightower.
Do they speak Arabic? It's not. Yeah. Are they still poor? No. Yeah. I never had the inclination for science, but I never. Yeah, they love it. Oh, I know. You gotta love it. I flunked out of law school. I got shit. But he said, major in English and science. And one state. The question that you decide comes right up. No problem. And they can make a case in September.
I don't know what the conversation is like.
But, in fact, more.
Yeah,
I think this is probably maybe longer than 100.
And if you want another stuff, you can just get the license. You can get any license.
Yeah.
There's like,
What is it? I've always been financial authority in the corporate. Never before this. Accounting is different. I was born in Washington, but grew up in Rockville area.
Like you were way too, not used to that.
They were still expanding development, and one day I was driving along, and all of the dust. 6 by 6 of those cars in my windshield. They'd fallen off the truck or something. And I didn't see it, I just seen this big ambulance, 20-foot long 6 by 6. Yeah. One whole lot of fun sometimes.
Yeah.
Or Jen, you take this.
Hey! It wasn't my phone, it was my phone.
Where do you go from, Julius?
I mean, try both, get on board with / as well as CrossFit. I mean, I definitely found that, when I was doing the warm market.
Yes.
I definitely got like training of punches, right?
Sure.
But in terms of being interested in the opportunity,
Wait.
it does come more from like the movement / cold project.
Hey, very much in And I'll bring you in.
Hey, what's up?
For everyone, it's a different piece of the problem.
What are you gonna say?
Just in the back on the table. I'll be fine.
You sure, Thomas?
Yes, I am.
Hey guys, morning. Morning. Buenos dias. I get to start training again, yeah.
Ooh, nice one, okay.
All right, listen, Shaq needs a couple more minutes, and, so we wanted to kind of help everybody out, or us, in a sense, help each other. So if you don't know yet off the top of your head, but you should, right? It's only less than half the month. Look at your last 7 days. We're gonna go around and see who has hit the board on the recruit and premium side. If your downline got a recruit because of you and they're not here, then you can speak for them as well. We just want like 1 or 2 tips on each person that you did business with or you recruited so that you can help everybody out, okay? Is that okay? All right, so who got a recruit last 7 days, since last Friday? Last Friday, hands up, I'm short, you guys, 4 foot 11.
Since last Friday?
Since last Friday. Last Friday was the 4th, the 4th. All right. Who's got a recruit since last Friday? That was recruits. All right, so let's go from the back to the front. Mom, you can stand up.
Oh, it's me?
Yeah. All right, who's your recruit? And just one tip, how you got them. I can help everybody.
I got him last night. His name is Quan. I met his wife at, a Black Women's Networking in Prince William County.
Nice.
And, when they went around and asked us what we did, and I told them that I was, a financial planner, she was like, I need to talk to you. So she works for the government, and somebody had come to their job, but they didn't follow up with them. So she had been playing phone tag with these people for almost a year. They've been trying to get somebody to sit down with them for a year.
So you followed up.
So I gave her my information that night. I went home, I put her in
Sales team.
Sales Team Pro, sent her all, I sent her the overview video, I sent her how money works, and I sent them the quiz. And, she said, then she came to our food truck the very next day. And she said, when is the earliest you can sit down with us? So we scheduled it. I got with Kelvin, scheduled it. We went last night. And they were ready. She had printed out.
Real quick, 'cause we gotta go through everything.
Okay. So yeah, then that's it.
Great job. Great job. So that was between Calvin and you. You guys were together.
Yes.
Good, nice.
Yeah, because they wanted to know about finances. So, about investing.
Somebody quit 3 feet from going, no problem, right? Just pick up where they left off. Donald?
Okay, so, I got a direct on Saturday. His name is Abib. We followed up with him for about a year, so just following up with him. He's a T, so it took me all that time.
It's the opposite from you. How do you deal with that?
don't know. So he came out, you know, saw it, and just started, and just said, I'm gonna give it a shot. And then we also got a direct for Sade. She just prospecting, you know, heavy prospecting, guy named Sean. Sat down with him, you know.
What did she say to prospect him?
Sade, she just basically, you know, lets them know she has a business in the area, expanding, and, you know, looking for new people. Are you keeping your options open? Basic things, and gets the name and number, forward it to us, and we set up the one-on-one.
So she forwards you the number. She doesn't try to call herself just yet.
Not yet.
Authority closed.
Yeah, so.
Gotcha.
did the
Great
one-on-one,
job.
and, you know, he came on board.
Yeah. You guys worked as a team though, right?
That's correct.
Great job, Jim. All right, next, who's next? One recruit since last Friday. Rufy?
So I got two this last
Oh,
week.
okay.
I don't know if you.
No, we're not doing top.
So earlier this week, Monday, I had a follow-up interview with somebody, Matilda. She is in the Virginia area. So she is semi-retired. She worked at like a Inter-American Development Bank, helping countries in Central and South America. But she's interested in the opportunity because one, she was really interested in personal finance herself always. And she's got 3 adult children, 2 of which are entrepreneurs. So she kind of understands that hustle that they go through. But she is definitely interested, and then right away, and Tuesday, she moved things around and started and jumped into the class and started her licensing class Tuesday and Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah, and then yesterday we brought on Yolati, who it was the 3rd time actually met with her. We met last week for an interview. She did come to Tyson's Saturday morning, saw the presentation, was very interested, and then came now as well. And so she's looking at the part-time opportunity.
Wow, great job. Welcome. Welcome. Hey, this is a money makers meeting, so you're in the right room. Great job, Ruby. Who's next? Tia?
Us. And Peter. Okay,
And
so we got a recruit for Brandon. Tiana, which is actually one of his best friends, when he made the list, he didn't even list her on the list, which just shows that they put on their war market and not their hot market. But through a lot of questions, she was one of his best friends. We sat down with her. She became a recruit and a client.
Great job. How'd you find her again? Because she wasn't on the list.
Tiana, we just asked Brandon. We kept asking him, who can you go sit down with tonight? That's to say I have a business opportunity to share with you, and they'll listen and let you in the door.
You made him think.
Yes.
Good, great job. Yeah, Peter. Who's next? Shonda?
So, I got one recruit yesterday, just making Steve calls like I usually do, and just gonna get my directs back up. So she came in and she's at police. Her name's Srijana, and she did a lot of teaching at Kitty Academy. She loves helping people, and she's just really excited about the opportunity. And for those of you guys on the Bruce call, he said, hey, just ask them if they know any other people that might be interested in the opportunity, and right away she gave us 2 people. So she's supposed to be back on Saturday.
Wow. Josh?
Yeah, so I recruited someone that has part ownership in a U Break Weeklix franchise in Springfield. I just prospected him, and I actually just we submitted the IBA just now, and it was someone else that I prospected 2.5 years ago, actually. I don't remember where I prospected him. I just know that Ian Pruckner said make a list of 1,000 people. So I got to 1,000, and then I just kept going to 2,000. And I just go back to my lists, and it was like somewhere from 400 to 500. And I called, he came in, and then he got recruited.
Sheesh. Great job. Next, one recruit or 2 or 3. Somebody got a recruit for the Queen last week. Good thing I read it. That was Sunday, right? Sunday, okay.
Well, I had the recruit join on Thursday, so that doesn't count for this one, but her sister, we sat down with her for a KT for a training, and her sister joined. to be a business partner.
And what do you guys say to her? Because I wasn't in your training. You did a great job.
So it was Sugar and I mean, Laquita is a new recruit. She was saying, when I get big, my sister want to join me. When I get big, my sister want to join. So she was like, sis, like, join now. You know, like, don't wait. So.
Great job. Yeah. Adina is, you guys see it, right? Yeah. It's not even Sugar, it's Gina now, you know? Yeah, that's good. So I helped Stephanie on Aaliyah's team recruit her girl Donna, her god sister, who was one of her KTs. So it was a client over the kitchen table, but the IBA went in after she came to the Fast Start School. Because I told Donna to come for Stephanie's to walk the stage, and she needed to compete for the leadership award, so Donna would help her if she showed up. People don't understand what top turnout is. They understand leadership award though. So she came out, and Stephanie didn't get it, but she was like, did Stephanie lose it because of me? And she felt responsible to help Stephanie, which was good. And so I was like, you know how you can help her? Like, just join the team, make money yourself. Let's make money together. And she came on board. And then somebody else. You got your IBA going in today, CO? No? Okay, who got an app last week? App or apps? Okay, apps. Dang, only 2 hands? 3 hands?
I mentioned mine already.
Huh?
I mentioned.
Did you already? Okay, yeah. If you didn't mention it yet, who was it? Okay, Josh.
Well, it's not really an app, but I had a coworker, I just recently left the job, but it was a will. She was trying to do a will, so kind of just trying to introduce herself as
You got a line of
company.
business?
Yeah, and just to see what's going on. And so she, basically the day my last day of working for that company, she comes up to me like that morning, say goodbye, and hands me all of her will documents. So hopefully we can help her with her retirement funds and stuff later on. But for now, you know, just something to kind of get her as a client.
Okay, so you're pursuing her right now? Yeah. Okay, good start. Apps, anybody? Okay, so Donald?
Okay, so, we got, we got 2 apps so far this week. We got an app from a guy that I used to work with. Followed up with him for like a year or 2. You know, he has 2 children, wife, got a $60 app from him. And then yesterday, got with someone I prospected the day before the big event. And, you know, originally it was just supposed to be for a business opportunity, but she saw value in, you know, getting some coverage while she's healthy.
So you shot for the recruit?
Yeah, but once she heard about what we did and she knows she didn't have any coverage, I educated her on group coverage. She didn't have any, you know, private coverage. So she, you know, got compelled through the presentation and started an app. Yes.
Good. Sometimes if you shoot for the recruit, you'll miss, but then you'll get the sale. But if you shoot for the sale, you know, I mean, you could get the recruit. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to go about it. This is a cliche for America. Shonda.
Yeah, so I got an app last night. I was just following up with clients, and randomly, one of my clients that I had 4 years ago who had a policy then stopped for some reason, and I tried to convince him to keep it, and then I was like, okay, forget this guy. And all of a sudden he messaged me on Facebook and was like, hey, I need to get my life insurance in place. I need to do a lot of things financially. A lot of things have been changing around with the firefighting department, and I need to just get myself set up financially. So I was like an entire F&A, everything done, 529s, all of that. So we got a 120 app last night, got 4 emergency contacts, and we're gonna go back and do a 529, and we set up a Roth IRA.
What do you post on your social media? Because he saw you guys.
It was just for the big event.
That's it?
Yeah.
What do you say?
I mean, I don't know. I just said we had a great event. I think we won 3 number 1s in a row, 4, 3, whatever it was. And then just post pictures about success and what you're doing. And yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll keep it short and sweet. But my app is from the same person as the recruit. They were both in the Marines. They have Fegley. Kelvin pulled up the chart, showed them how it's going to keep increasing until it's just going to explode on them. and they saw the value in our presentation and they did a max case.
Where'd you find the Begley calculator?
We Googled it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Just Google?
We Googled it and and showed them how to do it. So they did it on their own laptop. And it said that way you'll know where it's at. You can play around with it or whatever.
And they didn't know how to find it, right?
No.
Good
No,
job.
but he did, and Kelvin showed him, and yeah.
Yeah,
And
Mom.
next case.
Anybody else? Business that you haven't? No? Okay. So I know, Laquita, got a bunch of apps with Sugar and Gina. She's at what for the bonus?
She is at 2,300.
And she's only been here less than a week, right?
A week today.
Jeez. So Stephanie, I got Blanche submitted her own app, $43, because she thought she would get the bonus after she passed her exam. So, you have to reiterate stuff to recruits. So I was like, no, you get it before, right? As soon as you pass, they release the money for the activity. She's like, oh, I need to do it now. I was like, okay, so let's do it now, right? So we did her FNA, and so I usually show the new recruit their FNA, their FIN number first, and then I back-ended with the life insurance, especially if they're not qualified, so they understand the importance of locking it in and then building up their assets while they're still being covered. So I use the FNA to do that. Stephanie took me to Baltimore, right by Suge's place, and but Suge was in DC that day though. So we went on 2 appointments. That's why you should always set 2, because only 1 closed. 1 was really non-qualified, and the other one, we got a $56 app. The boyfriend was already a client, but the agent had not, followed up with him for a while. And he never got the girlfriend. So the girlfriend was like, I've been looking for coverage this whole time with Primerica. I didn't know where to go. I was like, okay, great, we're here. So she's supposed to be coming to Women Primerica tomorrow, but we'll see. So that's a $56 app. And then Stephanie also took me out last night to go see her friend Naya, who did not answer the phone. But because it was just a 20-minute ride, we just rode out there. Her boyfriend ended up being in there. So the mom came in and she was like, what's this all about? I was like, well, you should sit down. We're talking about coverage for your son and, your stepdaughter or daughter-in-law. And she's like, oh, you guys need all of this. Apply. So they immediately were like, okay. And then they leaned in and did a $60 app. So the mom did the closing really. And so that was Stephanie this week. So, yeah. All right. Great job, everybody, the last 7 days. You should always hit the board. You should always build your business. If you don't have any business coming in, your 7-Eleven is closed for these 7 days, and you may not be in business for very long, right? Much longer. So we're gonna bring up Shaq. Give it up for Shaq.
All right. Good morning.
Morning.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Yeah, seat here. Whose seat is it? Thomas? Or no, you can sit up there. What do you guys? All right. All right. So before we get into some stuff, we're gonna go over because I know there's some. We've been doing a good job in this meeting of bringing new people. So I want to cater some of the stuff to our new guys, okay? Because even if you're not new, you always have to see the business through new people's eyes, right? Because I've been here, right, 16 years at the same company, and it's a challenge always communicating with new people, being with greenies, talking with them, answering their questions, understanding the fears that they're going through, the hopes, the aspirations, and for example, one thing I did this week that I just haven't had the opportunity to do. I've had the opportunity, but I haven't done it. Was the licensing class? I took somebody out to lunch, right? And usually, I'm not inviting people directly to the licensing class. I might do it through the group, and then they go to the licensing class, and their trainer. This is a law. Always take your recruit out to eat. Okay, you don't have to go crazy and take them to Morton's. Okay, but when you sign up here and you start the licensing process, there's a 2-day class. Always go to the class. Okay, always go to the class. The materials are better. The resources are better. I know you can do it online. Online, people they procrastinate, the kids are around, the telephone rings or the cell phone rings, you know, whatever it is, there's a movie on, they can't study, okay? And the more that we delay the licensing process, it's terrible. We lose 60 to 70% of our recruits during the licensing process. So think about that. You have a recruit that's excited, motivated, ambitious, driven, and the attrition of the licensing process, not that it's hard, but just life, it extinguishes that excitement. And so the weekday class, which there is for Virginia, they have a weekday class. I don't know if they do that for DC and Maryland, but once a month in Sterling, they do it on the weekday, which I do recommend. If it's close, you put people in that class because one, there's no students in there, okay? I was talking to the instructor and the people, right? There was only 2 students and they were both from our group. So they literally had a private tutoring session and they loved it. And the office is nice. It's really nice. I mean, like I walked in there, I was like, wow, this is really nice. It was, and then I always tell my brother, you know, like one thing that we do, and some of you guys might be better. I know I was a lot better at this when I was younger, okay? Mike Sharp, the #1 builder in our entire company's history, the #1 money earner, the best builder ever, said the hardest thing to do in Primerica, the hardest thing to do in our business is build relationships with new people. That's what he said. Think about that. The hardest thing to do is, so I was telling my brother, I was like, you know, one of his recruits, you know, we both did the interview, and so I said, hey, I'll take you out to lunch. So I took her out to lunch, and you know, Peter and Tia, they had somebody there. They were in lunch, so we all just met up and we went out to eat, and then went back to class. And I was telling like my brother, I was like, you know, it's very difficult to spend 1 hour with somebody. Okay, I know I'm being recorded, but like I don't even do that with my wife. Like after 20 minutes, like, oh, who are you? And like, it's just awkward, okay? So like 1 hour with someone you don't know, right? Like it's not easy to do that, right? And if you're like me, which you should be like in this area, I don't talk that much. I question, okay? They're not there to hear from me. Now, coincidentally, I was showing pictures, so they're asking about, and you know, Peter and Tia do a good job of kind of deferring, oh, he has a pool, he has this, you know, and so yes, indirectly, I was kind of telling some of my story, right? But you get to know, hey, how long you've been here? Did you immigrate here? You know, and you get to know them. You're making deposits, right? That doesn't happen when you just, you know, oh, hey, go to class. How'd you do? Call them after. That's what New York Life does. Mm-hmm. That's what Merrill Lynch does. Oh, hey, take the class. Once you pass, then we'll start working. No. We start working with you right away. Working on your mindset. We build a relationship. We're making deposits. If you want to build a big business, if you don't want a big business, that's fine, right? So always take people to class. Don't ever be lazy about that, okay? Mm-hmm. You don't have to spend a crazy amount of money. I don't want you to, you're right, I don't know. You know, we went to, a restaurant. I don't think you even have to do that. You can go to, something like maybe not McDonald's, but, maybe Chick-fil-A or something like that, or get a little deli sandwich. Or if you're really doing it, and I mean, I don't care, bring them food. Mm-hmm. Hey, what do you want to eat? I'll make something for you. Look, that's a great way. You look, there are things that are attractive in our business, right? Like, okay, let me give the story of my son. My son right now is obsessed with money. Obsessed. Okay, so tipped up parents, okay, with kids and want to have young kids, don't give them electronics. Okay? It's a very expensive. It's my kid wants games. Okay, and like any industry that's really popular, these games are legit. I mean, they look real, they play real. You get into them, they're very addicting, and they're expensive. And there's always like a movie, part one, then there's the sequel, then there's the next one, then there's the next one. And then, these, like my son has the Switch and he's all over it. And, when the games come on, there's YouTube videos where you can click the advertisement of the next game. And it's just like, damn, man. There's just, so the worst thing I ever did was buy my son a Switch. And I bought him a little Nintendo thing, and I thought, this will distract him, this will keep him, but now he just wants games, right? You give him a basketball, it's cheap, and they just go out there, they're out there for 3 hours, right? Till you just, hey, come in, it's dark, right? That's it, right? But a Nintendo games is like, oh, I want this game, I want this game, I want this game, I want this game, right? So I'm like, look, I'm not doing it anymore. You got 20 games, I'm not doing it. And then he loses them, right? So I'm like, no, you got to have money now. So he knows he's a little fortunate in the fact that he has a lot of games, right? So he's accepting that he's got to make some money. Okay? Think about this. Okay, think about this. So I'm like, all right, you can do some stuff to make some money. And I'll help your mom do this. Unload the dishwasher, clean this, rearrange the books. I'll give you $1, I'll give you $2, right? And think about my son, okay? And think how people are. And this is why this is different. This is why you're learning this. So I'll give him a chore, and some are bigger than others, and some things, like he can't tie his shoes. I'm like, if you learn how to tie your shoes, I'll give you $20, okay? Because I want him to get into it, watch the YouTube videos, because I've been trying to do it, and I mean, he's just terrible at tying the shoes, right? And I'm just like, maybe this money will motivate you, but everything else is like $1 or $2. And when he gets the chore, he complains the entire time while he's doing it. And I was thinking, like, man, that's like my recruits, man. Like, they complain about the job, but they don't have any money, so they got to do the job. And then they complain the entire time they're doing it and after. And then I think about it, I'm like, my son is, he's 9, so he's getting to that point where he's annoying now. It's not cute anymore. And I love my son. But, I can be honest and self-aware, And so it's like, you're asking me for money. I give you everything that you want. I'm giving you chores to make extra money so you can have games on top of games. And then you're going to complain the entire time. And I think that is how everybody goes through life working. If somebody puts the job in front of you, gives you the work to do, and tells you that they'll pay for you to do it, then you'll do it. That's not this. This is creating work. It's not giving work. We're not going to give you any work. That is the brain function that allows you to make, I don't know, what I make, $46,000 last month, right? The last week, all your clients. Did I see any of your clients? Congratulations, awesome job. Great job. Right? I saw maybe 2 of these recruits that came in 1 week. Right? Think about that. Why? Because I learned how to think differently about creating work, not processing work, not somebody, you asking for money because you need money. Somebody giving you chores to do, putting it in front of your face so you'll do it, and then you complain while you're doing it and complain afterwards, but then go do it again. And so, like, I'm trying to teach my son, it's very hard, right? I mean, he's 9, right? I'm not being unreasonable. I'm like, look, if you see something that's giving me or your mom a hard time that we don't like doing, that's a real great opportunity for you to make money. Because your mom and I don't want to do it. And so you start to think, okay, so like what? Like my daughters, right? They make messes in every room, right? That's what they do. They don't play in the toy room. They take the toys out of the toy room and create piles of shit everywhere else. Clean up the toys. And he's like, well, I'll just tell them to clean. I was like, well, then you're not going to make any money. He's like, oh, I see what you're saying, right? Because if I don't fix the problem, because my wife doesn't want to do it, and we'll give him the money, but he's got to earn the money. Right? So I know it's hard to take people out and call people and encourage people, but that's why we're moving in the work creation business, the client acquisition business, the recruiting and training and developing of leader business. This is not a job. And that's the most difficult thing for people to understand. They want a job that they can complain about. They want the work put in front of them. And if it's created and put in front of them, then they'll do it. Wrong questions to ask. That's why you'll be paid nothing. Right? So, you know, when you're dealing with people, right, here's a people skill issue. What's attractive to people? What's attractive? I was thinking about this, right? Because I was texting this recruit and she's like, thank you so much. And being cheap. And I'm not talking about cheap with money. You can be cheap. If people are saying you're cheap with money, that's a compliment. Okay, they should, if they think that you're lavish and you have a lot of money and you don't, that is, you are selling a false narrative. That's going to catch up with you and it's going to come back at you hard. Okay? You can be stingy. Okay? You can be frugal. You don't have money to spend, don't spend it. Okay? Don't, you know, this isn't fake it till you make it. Now look, I'm not saying like, you know, invest in your business, okay? I don't want to be contradictory, but don't spend money you don't have, okay? That's a recipe for disaster, okay? But being a cheap-minded person, that's unattractive. Being greedy is downright repulsive, okay? What's the most attractive thing? Generosity. Generosity is the most attractive thing. And that doesn't mean with your money, obviously if you have money and you can do stuff, you know, but look, in this business, we're not going to give you money here. We're going to teach you how to make money. But, you know, I used to always do things like that. You know, when we go to hotel rooms, our conferences were out of state, and people would say, oh, you know, you bring the drinks, right? And, you always got that guy that had the good job, and they bring Gatorade, and they bring soda, and I bring Kool-Aid packets. That's what I brought. I didn't care. And I wasn't mad about it. I'd be ashamed, like, sorry, man, this is what we got. Fill it up, man, get the tab. I didn't have money. I wasn't going to spend money I didn't have. I was broke, man. I was trying to pay off my bills and my debt, and I was coming. I had to sell everything to come to these things in the hotel in 2 days, and I drive. You had to chip in on gas, but I drive. Right? But I was generous with my time. I was generous with my encouragement. Right? You know, that is how you attract the right people in our business. So, all right. So we're going to talk about how you get trained here. Okay, we're going to talk about field training real quick. So and this is a conversation you need to have with all new people. Okay, explaining the field training process, and I know I'll go through some of these. I should just click on this here. Okay. So thanks, man. Yep. Okay. So our system is being trained in the field. Okay. Always remember there is two sides of what we do. There's the manufacturing side in any business, and then there's marketing. Okay. In any business, any industry, there's manufacturing and marketing. Marketing is always the most money. Okay? And you don't have to worry about the manufacturing. You don't have to negotiate the rates with underwriters for insurance. You don't have to negotiate the contracts with the other companies. You don't have to worry about pricing and marketing, you know, in terms of advertising budget and technology. Now look, if you were at a dealership and you're selling cars, okay, and you're at the Toyota dealership, do you know a little bit about cars? Yes. Are you going to know the difference in the engines and the horsepower and the pickup speed and the safety issues and the airbags and the anti-lock brake systems? Yes, you'll know them, but you're not building the car. So you have to learn about the products, and it's important to know the products, and you're going to become a master in the products. But more importantly, you got to know the features and the benefits. People, when they come in, they want to know, how am I going to get trained? How am I going to get clients? How is my market, this is the number one, my limited market going to become unlimited? And these are the conversations we're going to have with people. I'm going to take you out, Ruby, with me, and we're going to go and build a client base, because I've done it before, and this is the fundamental principle of our company right here, field training. And this is something I always say, field training is an investment. Okay? You know, there's an old metal proverb, right? the 5-pound bar of metal. Has anyone ever heard this before? I don't think that some of you have heard it. But, so you have a 5-pound bar of metal, okay? And you can make that into horseshoes. And you can sell, and those horseshoes will be worth $40. Okay? You can make that into needles, that 5-pound bar. And those needles will be worth $300. Or you can make that 5-pound bar of metal into watch springs. And those springs will be worth $3,000. Same metal, same person. But what they chose to do with that metal bar yielded a different result. And that for you, right, is your time. Right? Some of you guys, you take that hour, you trade it for $10. You trade it for $15. And you do that for 20 years. And all you have left to show for is pay stubs. That's all you got. Right? You talk about generosity. I talked about that, right? Mm-hmm. I went on 19 training sales in training. And we didn't have a field training bonus where your recruit could be at 1 by 2,300 and got 20. I forfeited those sales. I gave up those sales. I took my trainer because I knew and I mean this, I knew we needed to help those people. I really thought like that. So man, these people need help and they need help right away. And I knew, man, if I can learn how to be as good as this dude, and I can watch this thing over and over, and I can watch the client and recruiting and referral and F&A process over and over again, I'm going to make a ton of money. Right? And always remember, right, in investment, right, you reap what you sow. Right? And you always reap more than you sow. Right? You plant one apple seed, you get an apple tree. One corn seed yields a stalk of corn. You don't plant one apple for an apple, right? But that goes conversely too, right? You plant negative seeds. You plant greedy seeds. You get that too, right? And so I went on appointments to learn, man. I wanted to get a client, but I thought, man, I'm going to change this 5-pound bar of metal into a financial services field trainer. Mm-hmm. That is where your best time. If I can train somebody out in the field with me doing Primerica, insurance, investments, recruiting, referrals, emergency contacts, IRAs, rollovers, there I am going to be worth millions of dollars, and that was the case. Mm-hmm. Because I believed in our company and what we did for people, meaning middle-class financial services across the kitchen table with the best companies backing you. But it starts here in understanding, turning that 5-pound bar of metal into becoming a field trainer. So, all right. One thing, and like I said, sometimes you kind of lose focus, and that's why I always like dealing with new people. Because it gives you fundamentals, right? There's nothing tricky about the business. There's nothing new. I mean, you have to work, you have to do all those things, right? And once you work, there's just fundamentals, and you do it right. This is something my trainer taught me a long time ago. I want you to write this down, right? 1 hour in the field is like 20 in the classroom. You ever heard me say that? Probably not recently, right? Because I don't say it as much as I should. But 1 hour in the field is like 20 in the classroom. Think about that. 1 hour in the field is like 20 in the classroom. See, Shug, I hire you. You say, hey, I want to start. We're going to go out and see people. And when we're out seeing people, 1 hour of that type of work is worth 20 hours in the classroom. Think about that. That could be an understatement. It might be 1 hour in the field is 50 hours in the classroom, or maybe 100 if it's the right appointment. You might not see that in 100 classroom hours. Huh? These guys that no one wants to claim them, man. 10:40, that's a little late. Is he pregnant?
That's my guy.
Huh?
That's my guy.
You told him come up. Huh?
Yeah, it's over fluids with that fight.
Did he come at 10:30? What meeting did he come for? Okay. I'll bring him in, but he's gonna take your place. You wanna do that?
Would you be able to record it for me? So I can.
It's recorded. No, trade.
No, it's better in person.
Huh?
Better in person.
I'm saying you wanna trade with him? He's your guy.
I mean, if you
A
want.
life for a life. Huh? Who do you work with?
Sophia. Saeed.
Kill Sophia. So I don't have my RVPs in here. Mass murder. Did he tell you, what time did he tell you the meeting started?
10.
10. What time is it?
10:40.
What time are you supposed to be here? Did he tell you how I am? No, he didn't tell you how I am on punctuality?
No, sir, I apologize.
You don't gotta call me sir. Sometimes, man, you come in late, I gotta shoot a hostage, let everybody know. You know, I still got it. These guys will walk all over. All right, so appointments, okay? Now, generally our target market is this, okay? So when we go out and see people, so you're like, you know, we're gonna go out together, okay? I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do this, okay? And what are we gonna do? We're gonna present our opportunity. And our opportunity can be either the recruiting opportunity, the part-time agent opportunity, the business owner opportunity, the silent partner opportunity, the rare time opportunity, whatever it is, right? The becoming part of the agency opportunity, or it can be the client, okay? Now for me, like many of you, okay, if you're gonna write up your recruits, okay, make them a client first, okay? Because if they quit the business, they should still become a client, okay? That's my general rule, okay? And if they believe in what we do, then, right? Especially if they're qualified. If they're qualified, definitely should be a client. But if sometimes you may, you know, you gotta be very careful about, you know, if they're not qualified, saying, oh, hey, I'm gonna do this, and then making them a client. If you rush that, it's an awkward situation. Because they feel like, oh, because I started here, now do I have to buy the product, right? And you don't. But yes, if you want to have integrity and things like that, you should probably get a retirement account if you want to tell people about retirement accounts, right? You should have a plan to get out of debt, right? And I know it's hard for you to save money, but that it's just hard for your clients to save money too, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, I believe in retirement. I don't do it, but I think you should. Right? I mean, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's for you guys, right? You guys should be saving money. I always save money, right? I mean, even when I was making, you know, I don't know what I was making, you know, $100,000 a year, I was saving $5,000 a month, right? And then when I started making 200, you know, I was saving 10,000 a month. I always tell people I save 5 figures a month. I save 10,000 a month, right? And now, even where I am now, I still save 50% of what I make. That's just what we do. We save 50%, right? So you should save money, right? I believe you should believe in that. So this is our target market, right? 25, 55 married children, own a home, employed income. What is the absolute non-negotiable? Income, okay? We are not going to see people. So you're like, I'm going to take you out with me and we're going to present to people that have 4 or 5 of these categories, okay? And I'm going to explain our business. And they can either join us or become a client. Okay, or, and I'm gonna talk more about this, right? So when we go out, you're gonna get trained. I'm gonna teach you how to present the company, okay? And you present it professionally, you'll present it pleasantly. It'll disturb them because that's what we have to do, right? It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not all hunky-dory. It's not all everything's going great. No, you gotta kind of wake them up a little bit like, hey, there's a cliff over there. Push the brakes a little bit. Okay, so it's going to be question-oriented. It's going to disturb them. You're going to give a passionate, pleasant, professional presentation. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. Do you think that's important for people to learn how to do? Mm-hmm. Do you think that's an important 5-pound bar of metal skill? Presenting, right? Developing a client or an agent or getting a referral. That's important, right? Mm-hmm. 2, we're going to get referrals, right? Chandel, you just said you met with somebody. You got how many referrals? 4 referrals, right? So always remember, the light bulb goes on when you get referrals for the recruit. Mm-hmm. They take you out there and then they say, wait, we have 10 more people to call now? Yes. I see how this works. Mm-hmm. And the light bulb goes on. So we get referrals. These are our top 2 priorities. Training, confidence, referrals. 3, we may get potential agents. Yes, I'm going to ask them, how is that going to work? Well, when I'm presenting to them, right, and I say to them, hey, listen, is retirement important to you? And they say, yes. Is retirement important, setting enough money every month? I'm not sure. Well, Mr. Client, and I say it very nicely, if retirement is very important to you, but you don't put money away for it, and if you spend everything that you make right now, how are you going to have a retirement account? And let them answer. Because you know, right, it's not going to appear. No one's going to give you one, right? You have to fund a retirement account, right? You don't have a retirement account because you want one. You have one because you funded it, and you put money away, and you put $100 or $200 or $300 a month. And they say, well, I don't know. Well, if I could show you how to make more money. And then get the wheels turning, right? Or you can do that with debt too. Hey, when do you want to be out of debt? In 30, well, based upon your plan, when are you going to be out of debt? I'm not sure. Well, if I can show you a plan that will get you out of debt 10 years sooner than what you're doing now, would you be interested? Sure. Right? Because people don't want to join our business, but they want to get out of debt. People don't want to join our business, but they want a retirement account. People don't want to join our business, but they want to retire their spouse or put their kids in private school. You got to find out what's important to them. Yeah, I didn't want to do this business, but I hated my job. Right? I was thinking about my job the other day. I have to tell my story now a lot, right? And I tell my story and I kind of make it a PG version, right? A PG version, but sometimes you come in, people are so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, they just signed up for college, and I'm like, right? And like, man, and I'm with my brother, right? And okay, I may not have that credibility. I was in corporate America, he's in there for 12 years. He has the credibility. He worked for all the companies. So like, I know you are looking at this is the best you're gonna do, right? I mean, like we're both looking at this new sucker, man, this freaking rookie, right? I mean, like this is the best you're gonna do, man. Like, who do you think we are? Like, okay, I'm the idiot that couldn't get a job. He got the job. Right? I mean, even when he tells his story, like, he says, yeah, I work for AOL. I was like, damn, you work for AOL? Because some of you guys don't know, right? When I was growing up, AOL was like Facebook. It was like Google. Like, if you work for AOL, that's it. You just drop the mic. Hey, what? AOL. That's true. That's 100% true. Right? Like, he still cites it. The type, it's true. Like AOL is going to run the world. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, I just signed up and I did this and I'm doing my college and I remember when I tell my story, right? And I tell my story and you can always tell your story, right? And be human. I'm not saying you have to make your story the most depressing thing in the world. You don't have to go through but have humility, right? It's okay, man. No one's doing well. Okay? No one's doing well. Okay, how do you know you're broke? If you can't live off your savings, you're broke.
Yeah.
So I don't care your income, right? So, you tell, like, I tell people how I'm job, but you guys know, if you know my story, you know a little bit, right? That, like, they gave me a title promotion. And they said, this is a title promotion. But that's not what they said to me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know what they said to me, Donald? And I'm not like the smartest guy in the world, but I'm from the street a little bit. They're like, well, this is a no raise promotion, but we really want to see. We want to see what you got. Like, I can't see what I got. Give me the freaking money. What do you think this is, man? Right? It's like I was like, what are you trying to say? Like, we want to see. We want you to prove. I'm like, this stupid ass $17 an hour job. What you gonna get from me, man? Get out of here. You think I'm one of these dummies in here? You gonna tell me that? And I'm like, yes. I'm gonna prove it to you. And I'm the dumbest idiot in the freaking world. That you're gonna give me more stuff to do, and you're not even gonna pay me. And you want to sell it to me, you freaking con artist. Get out of here. It amazes me that they said that to me.
Yeah.
Like when I'm telling the story, I don't say it like that, right? Because I don't want to give them all I don't want to explode, pull back. The Easter Bunny's not real. No! I don't want to do that to them yet. It's such energy, but I start thinking about this, it's not real. Cupid is not real. Okay? You can't shoot someone there on the following over.
Oh my God.
Right? But, it's just like, they didn't say it like, they said, well, this is a title. No, they didn't say it like that. Like, they really tried to sell me on it. Like, hey, look, no, this is not a paid promotion. We want to see if you have what it takes. I'm like, you ain't paying me no money. Like, I wasn't overpaid, and now you're right. We went on good faith. Like, get out of here, man. This has been a source of misery my entire freaking life, this stupid job. Right? Like, who do you think I am? I'm not like, I understand. I know how the game works, but geez, man, call it what it is, man. You're not going to pay me. You want to see. You're testing me to see if I got some freaking stones and if I'm going to quit. And I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
And I quit. You're going to see if I'm going to just take this on the chin, and I'm not going to do it. I'll find another job. And what I realized then, right, is that people had financial control over me. Mm-hmm. They did. And I'm okay. Look, if you have a job, you have a job. Do not give your financial control to somebody else. They don't care about you. I hate saying it, but it's the truth. They don't care about you or your family. Okay? They don't. Even here, right? You're doing it for you. You're not doing this for me. Now, I want you to do it, and we can do it together. And yes, I have a vested financial interest. I make money. If you make money, I want you to make more money, because I make more money. Yes, I have an agenda. But ultimately, you can become me. You can become a broker. You can become an owner. You can hire people. You can get overrides. You can get as big as you want to get. Right? Samir made $36,000 or $35,000 plus last month. Guy on my team made $35,000. That was my yearly income. Right? So, you can, yes, I don't love your kids as much as you love them. I'm not fighting for your family as hard as you're going to fight. But we're in it together, and I can help you and guide you, and I'll let you be the stallion. You can do whatever you want to do. Don't give your financial leverage. Don't let people control you. Because then they try to twist your mind and make you feel like you're overpaid and you're lucky to have this job and this and that, and they just beat you down. And I promise you, I was thinking about it on the way over here. I'm like, I should have hit that dude. I really should have punched him in the face. We want to see what you got. Get out of here. So, now think about this, okay? When we go on appointments, right, we have to see the right people, right? Now, look, I was thinking about it, I helped Mike on my brother's team get a pretty big client, and that was not in the market, okay? So I do believe, Josh asked Ben Shepherd, what's a qualified appointment? And he was like, well, they have to be over 60 and stuff. So look, my best clients in terms of biggest high net worth, they are older. That is true. Every one of them is older. Okay. So I think you should go on tons of appointments and maybe you don't have to go on the 25 to 55 as much, but they got to have an income.
Yeah.
Okay. They got to have an income. Okay. You do not see people that are unemployed. That does not work here. Got it? Now, look, right? Who has, do you take your kids fishing? I know. Yeah, okay. So Thomas, I don't take my kids fishing, okay? But, my dad used to take me fishing, all right? We go to the little, it was in West Virginia, and we stand over the bridge, and it was like real deal, and I, went on the boat. Would you ever take your kids fishing to teach them how to fish, and there were absolutely no fish in the water? Would you ever do that? Well, no. They can still learn how to cast. Would you ever do that? We want to feel so we see if they don't get seasick. They'll learn. No. Because the kids would get bored. There's no excitement. They lose the enthusiasm for it, and they think fishing don't work. Me and Daddy just go out there and we just sit there. And we talk, and I don't want to talk to him. Right? With your old ass. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to catch some fish. I want to reel it in. Right? I want to see who got the biggest one. I want to see if I can get more. Right? I mean, you're not going to take people well, they'll just do it for practice. No, man. I'm not going to go fish when there's no fish. Right? So we got to go see people that like you, that trust you, that care. And remember, what am I looking for in people, right? I'm looking for stuff. I want to know also, who am I working with? Do they have the right attitude? Do they have a little bit? I'm not saying, look, you can be totally skeptical here. I get that. But do you have you want to hoard things, especially now with our field training bonus? Why would you not want to I took my trainer to see everybody. Yeah. My dad right away, my mom right away, my sister right away, everybody in my immediate community. No, come on, let's go see people. I am proud about what I'm trying to do. I don't know everything about this, but the concept, I really like it. Let me test you out. Let's go see some people. Right? Two things I really look for is that attitude, right? Are they positive? Do they have a little bit of a generous? And the second thing, right? Work ethic. Right? Do they work? Especially when I really invest my time here. Do they work? What do I mean by that? Can they work half a day? 12 hours. Right? Not these little shifts. Right? Now I understand, I don't need you 12 hours a day. Okay? But can you do it? Can you put in a 4 or 5? Can you run 3 appointments in a row? Can you run 4 interviews in a row? Can you sit through a fast start school one day and not freaking complain? What do you think you're gonna do? Get rich here? Make 50 grand a month, make millions of dollars, and work 2-hour shifts? Come on, man. When does the clock stop? Right? When does it stop? What determines your clock? The time or your goals, man, or your family? Right? That's what I look for. When the clock is determining you? No, you got to work 12 hours a day, man. Now, that doesn't mean that you physically have to be at the office for 12 hours, but kids go to bed, you go in your home office, you freaking start practicing your stuff, and you keep that light on. You wake up a little early, right? And I was not always like where I am now. Okay? I had my son. My wife didn't work. I had office expenses. I was making $200,000 a year, but I had office expenses. I had taxes. I had all these things. I freaking did what I did, right? And I knew, my wife nursed the baby, so I couldn't be a substitute in that, right? I couldn't help her there. But she wanted to sleep from 5 to 7, so I'd have to go take my son, do the stuff, and I go to the office by 3, 4 o'clock. I'd go home, I'd hang out with my boy for 2-3 hours, and I'd be out 4 nights a week. I'd be out in the field, and I'd get back at 10:30 a.m. And my wife didn't want me to do this, but I always go wake up my son. I don't care, man. I'll wake him up. He's not gonna sleep. Whatever, man. It was a bad move, Rube, because he doesn't sleep at all. Now he wakes up every day at 10 o'clock and comes into my room, right? But I'm like, no, I worked hard. I did what I had to do, right? Because I have a good work ethic. I knew the prize was bigger, man. Right? And you guys know this, I say this every, where was my wife when I left this morning? In bed. where she is every morning. But she doesn't gotta get up, right? I take my kids to school, right? I play with my daughter before the meeting, then I take my daughter up, my wife's in bed, 9, 10 when I leave, put her, hey, mommy, wake up. My wife's, all right, I see it. When you coming home, okay, the kids want to see you, and I just give her my schedule, right? No, I worked hard so you can be in bed. And that's not, that's how it should be. I did that. Not I, but this opportunity, right? So you gotta have a work ethic. And look, we're gonna go see people. We're gonna, I wanna know, are you gonna go take me to people? You start, and you can ask questions, but you have the wrong attitude, I'm not gonna invest a lot of time with you. I might be mean to you, but I'm not gonna spend a lot of time with you. Okay, the goal is 10 qualified referrals from every client. That's our goal, right? Obviously, I think the best number is 3 to 5 quality referrals. And then now you can get emergency contacts from those. Now, some of these people, Shug, I know I've seen some of your posts, you guys get 20, amazing, right? Because that equates for we go on more appointments, we get to see more people, right? And you, as agents right now that are competent, always get in the habit of asking for more referrals all the time. Call your clients. Hey, do you know anybody? I'm going for a goal. I'm going for a promotion. We have an initiative. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do this. Who do you know? Who do you know? Give me one. Call. Say, and then they give you one, and you send a $5 gas card. Like my real estate agent, he sends $5 cards. And what's $5? Nothing. But he's very smart because he sends them from the coolest places. Duck Donuts. When Kava was just getting really popular, Kava, right? Like it's the thought, right? You know what your friends like. Oh, I got you this from the NBA store, $5. Whatever it is, man. Will they remember you? Does it? Like there's a book, right? You should read it. It's a technical book and it's very hard to read. Okay, but it's called The Law of Influence, right, by Robert Cialdini, and he talks about that, right? Like when you order from a restaurant, I don't know if you know that, right? They give a mint because you'll give a bigger tip when you give a mint, right? So when you program your referral sources that every time they introduce you to somebody, they're going to get something, guess what? They want to keep doing it. That's generosity, right? And I didn't say he doesn't send me, and my real estate agent makes money. He doesn't send me a ton of money, but he gives me a little $5 gift card, a gas card, right? I mean, little things. Oh, this, right? You got to do these things, especially if you're getting referrals, right? So the goal is 10 qualified referrals from every client. All right, and this is something I want to talk about with you guys, right? What's our goal? Okay, what's our goal? And this is why I really want to talk about this. What's our goal with our new recruit?
3 for
3
3.
for 3. Who said it? Right? 3 for 3. Think about this, okay? This is something that we have to start implementing. Okay? You're going to take your new recruit out in the field. We want to see their hot 3, their top 3, their best 3, their most qualified 3. And how are we going to qualify the appointment? Right? When we qualify the appointment, right? How do you know them? How long have you known them? Do you know the spouse's name? Right? Do they have any goals? Are they ambitious? Are they driven? Are they entrepreneurial? No, just don't go see. You're not the most. There's a standard, right? Yes, I know we're not going to be the most picky, but for the first 3, let's be picky. And you tell them, we're going to take your top 3. And mentally, I'm going to go 3 for 3. You're field training a new recruit? I want to see who can get 3 for 3. Yeah, we went on 3, we closed 3. Why is that so important? When I trained on this a few weeks ago, why is that so important? Okay, so one, Shug said, knows that the business works, okay? I'll go further. It works 100% of the time. That's what they're going to think. It's impossible to fail, right? They know the business works because of the company credibility. But when you go 3 for 3, they know you work too, and the system works too. And why? You put the odds in your favor. Right? You put the odds in your favor. So we want to go on, the first night you're out in the field, go on 3. Not 2, go on 3. And you tell them, say, but our first night, I want to go on 3 appointments. So I really want to immerse you. I really want to go through and train, and you qualify. You set the appointment. You do the triangle offense, which means when you set an appointment, we're going to call. Now, you're going to call. You're going to introduce me. I'm going to say, hey, look, how do you know her? But, she's studying for a license. Would you mind helping her out? She needs 10 training appointments to get certified. And we go through the script. You set up the appointment. You get to know them. You qualify the appointment fully. Right? Are they employed? Do they have any health issues? You might ask that, right? Hey, do you know if they're, because, right? You want to go where the fish are, right? When people that are expert fishers, guess what? They know what time the fish are eating, right? They know based on the weather, there'll be more fish. The temperature, the winds, they no, this is a great fishing day. Not just the sun, but the temperature, the time, everything, right? They're not going out just when it's, no. That's why they go in the morning and they know, hey, these 6 hours, we're going to catch the most fish, have the most fun, right? That's the same thing. Like, if they know that, we know that too. And imagine if you don't have to train somebody like my trainer, yeah, he trained me a bunch, but you don't have to train people 20, 30 appointments. That'd be great. But you got to go on the top 3, right? And I learn from my mistakes. I do this wrong all the time. So mom and pop both sit at the kitchen table. Don't do one-legged appointments, right? Why don't we do one-legged appointments? Huh? So, well, they're always gonna hide behind, oh no, I can do it. Mm-hmm. And then, oh no, I gotta talk to my wife. Okay, and also they can't make a decision without their wife or husband. Obviously, most of the time the husband's gonna say that. And the third thing is, they're going to try to re-explain what you did, and they can't do it. Okay, they're going to mess it up. They're going to say some things. They're going to emphasize the right things. They're not going to go through the right flow or process. They're not going to get both people involved, right? And if a person actually does make a decision without somebody else, you can build a lot of resentment. Okay, I think I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty open. But if my wife did that, I'd even be like, what? I'd give her a little stink eye, like, what'd you do? Why'd you do that? Right? And I'm pretty like, I'm not like that, right? But I still would be like, what'd you do? What? I'm sorry, what was that? Why'd you, why didn't you let me know first? Right? Because it's courteous, right? At least 2 in a row, but we're changing that to 3 in a row. 4 to 5 pointers in the evening, 3 and below at the office. Okay? You have to understand that field training is an investment. Learn to effectively recruit, train, build your business, and become wealthy. The number of adequate field training appointments is a minimum of 10. The best people want on 20, and they're better trained than 90% of the company. Okay? Okay, I'm not going to go through this. But I will go through these points that I got from Hector Lamarck. Okay? The key to developing successful people who you retain is dependent totally on the quality of field training you do and your ability to explain clearly how you get the results that you get. The importance of field training cannot ever be overestimated. The people who go on the most field training appointments with a skilled trainer ultimately do significantly better, and the retention of these agents is dramatically higher. The number of adequate field training appointments is a minimum of 10, and 20 would be a lot better. The best people I trained and developed went on at least 20 appointments. You should be looking at your field training as an investment. Like going back to school. Getting properly field trained is what is going to allow you to effectively recruit, train, and build a great business and become wealthy. The most important thing is to get fundamentally sound, to know what you are doing, and to get trained properly so that when you go see clients yourself and train your own team, you are super effective. If you go on 20 or 30 appointments, you're going to have infinitely more success than if you go on 1 or 2 appointments where you don't really know what you are doing. The key to longevity in Primerica is you getting good at the business. You being effective, which means closing, knowing how to do a great presentation, knowing how to overcome the different questions and objections that come up. And the only way to get good at that is through field training. Our number 1 priority is to build your referral market, right? It's not to pillage somebody's market, okay? It's not. And a team that needs to be trained. So you have teammates and places to go. Who is going to eventually train your team? You are, right? So our number 1 priority is to build your referral market and a team. Okay, we want to build your referral market and a team, and for you to be trained. So you have teammates and places to go. Who's going to eventually train your team? You. When you got trained well and are out of their training, okay, this is the one, I gotta fix this forever. Don't worry about that one. What you do with your trainers, what new people do with you. I used to always say that. Right? Yeah. What you do with your trainers, what new people do with you. Yeah. You have a good attitude, they'll have a good attitude. You listen to your trainer, they'll listen to you. You're coachable, they'll be coachable. You procrastinate, they'll procrastinate. You're late, they'll be late. It's like a circle. It all works out financially. The most important thing is that you get trained well so that you have the opportunity to succeed once you're licensed. If your people get licensed without getting trained, you would have a team of license and competence. Instead, what you want is for everyone who gets licensed to be so well trained by the time they get licensed, they can go on appointments and get results immediately and have the ability to train others effectively so the process repeats itself. If no one knows what they are doing, you are dead in the water. Okay. So, where's the projector? Oh, it's on the TV. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, so, to kind of recap some of the things that we've talked about before I let you guys go, okay? 3 reasons why people get stuck or fail here. Okay, number 1, and this can happen at any level. That can happen to me, it can happen to anybody, but it usually happens to people in the beginning, okay? An unwillingness to grow and change. Okay, an unwillingness to grow and change. People change and they get stuck. Or in the beginning, they are, and you know what I call a lot of those people, and it's a big deterrent? They're extremely stubborn. They dig their heels in, they want to take coaching. Now look, I think I'm pretty good. I'm not great, but I'm pretty good at administering coaching. All right? I know how to sandwich, I'll compliment you, I'll coach you, then I'll compliment you, right? Mm-hmm. I'm polite, I try to be empathetic and sensitive, right? I'm coming from a position of strength, right? Meaning I have the track record. So I'm not talking in theory. I'll never ask you to do something I don't do. People still don't listen. Mm-hmm. Unwillingness to grow and change. Mm-hmm. Okay. 2, I talked about this earlier. They don't put the time in. They just don't they don't want to work. Lazy. Right? They don't want to work. And that's why you got to be, and I'm telling you, you know what? Like a lot of things I give my kids. I give my time. I give my love. I'm an extremely affectionate dad, right? I give encouragement. But you know what I think, and I think my dad gave me this too? My dad worked, man. My dad was a freaking worker. He worked his butt off. Never missed a day of work. You know, my dad We were the guys in school and my dad. Like, we did our dentist appointments on holidays. That's what we did.
Wow.
We couldn't come out of school, right, to go. Like my dad did it too. He wouldn't miss days of work. He'd come, no. You know, that was just him. He was a worker. He worked really hard. And he never asked me, like, he was just not a lazy person, right? Like, that's what I said. Look, I'm not saying you gotta work, you know, 20 hours out of 24, but you gotta work, man. You know, stop this 4 hours, 6 hours, 2 hours. Half a day is 12 hours. I just want you to understand that. And you have to build your mental conditioning to where you can do that. Not saying you have to do it, but you have to work. You have to have a very strong work ethic to do well here. And then third is spending time doing the wrong things or with the wrong people. Right? And I always talk about this. There's 3 types of people, right? 3 types of attitudes. There's the thief, right? Thieves don't want to work. They'll steal. They want something for nothing, right? What do your parents always tell you? You can steal, but you always get caught. Thieves always get caught. They get overconfident. They steal 20 times. No, I'm not hitting the 21st time they get caught. Right? There are people out there, they've never stolen a thing in their life, but they're stealing in their mind. They want something for nothing. Right? The gambler, then you can move to the gambler. The gambler wants to put in a little bit, right? And get a big reward. They want to put a quarter in and pull the machine and get the jackpot. So they understand, I got to pay a price, but I'm not going to pay the full price. Right? What do they teach you about gambling? The house always wins. The house always wins with playing. When you gamble, the house always wins. Right? And you guys know this. I love to gamble. I do. You know what? And this, I don't know if this is true for you, Peter, but when I would gamble, and I love to gamble, I love to play cards, I love to bet on sports, I was associating with the wrong type of people when I did that. And it didn't matter, even if I had money and I was like, I have a family, but it drew me into this world of just associating and talking about the wrong things all the time. So like, I'll joke with Peter, right? But I don't gamble anymore because it puts me in the wrong environment, because the people that are there, they want something for nothing. And always remember this, when you get something and pay a little price, you blow it. Oh, you never spend it right. You steal something, you never do the right things with the money because you didn't earn it, right? You didn't pay the price for what you got. That's what I've realized. And I love to gamble. I love it. I have conversations about it. My friends will call me, oh, and my buddy just called me the other day, hey, man. I mean, this is the type of degenerates I know. Hey, man, what do you think? Should I bet on the Mystics game? I was like, dude, I'm hanging up, man. I'm blocking you. I was like, yo, my life is at a new low. Like, we're not even betting on NFL. We're doing WNBA? Okay, what's the line? Right? But, and I was like, yeah, I can't talk to you, man. I'm doing other stuff. I got gold to get trees. And I understand. He's a friend of mine. I mean, but that's his thing. Right? And then the last mentality is what? The champion. Right? Champion knows, man, to get a big goal, you got to pay a big price. You want something, it's not just what you want, it's who you become in the process. And they're willing to pay, man. They'll put the time in, they'll put the work in, they'll change your attitude. That doesn't mean that they're excited all the time to do the work or change, but they know it's necessary to do it. Right? And you can see this with people, right? Like I talked about my kids and the chores and the jobs, they complain, but like my daughter, right? She wants to be a standout swimmer, man. There's a lot of things that she doesn't like to do, but swimming, she knows, man. That time in the pool, paying that price, she's going to be across that stage. She knows it, and it's something, she just gets it. Everything else, she's not like that. No, Daddy, I don't want to do it, but swimming, hey, let's go, because she knows, man, if I want to be competitive, and I want to compete against the other people and to get to the next level, it's already inherent with her. She's 7. But she knows, man, there are people in the pool, they're training, they're working hard. She watches videos, she does these things. And I'm conscious not to overtrain her, but she's already has the champion's mentality. Everything else they don't want to do. Anything else they don't want to do. Right? And, you know, Catherine, you know, she's my friend. She knows anything I say about my family, she'll call me. Right? Is that not true? Right? Everything I'm saying? Right? You see me when I leave the house, when I leave, what I do, where my wife is, all this stuff, how I interact with my, right? I'm not exaggerating anything that I'm saying to you. Right? So anyways, all right. So tomorrow there is a women's in Primerica meeting. So I know some people are in our office are going, they're heading to Baltimore. What time is the meeting?
9.
9 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But we still will be having training. Okay. Obviously, there's no men allowed at this meeting, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
So we will be having training for anybody that does not go to the meeting in Tyson's tomorrow at 9:30. And we'll have awesome training as normal, set appointments. But if for some of the people that do want to go, want to get more information, okay, we'll be checking on people. Either you're in Baltimore or you're in Tyson. Okay, this is not an excuse not to be there.
Right. Yeah.
So tomorrow 9 o'clock, Mika Saunders is the guest speaker.
Yeah, then Lisa Jones and Peggy Hightower are the head speakers.
Okay, so it's going to be, you know, obviously a great event. For the people that go, remember your most important thing is setting appointments.
Yes.
Before and after the meeting, you have to have your week booked out. And I'm going to announce an incentive, okay, today. Jen wanted to do the Joker incentive. I saw the Joker movie. I have no desire to see that again. It was good, but man, I literally it was just, has anybody seen that movie? That was a dark movie. Like, I didn't know what to think. I was like, it's good, but I'm not sure. It sounds like my life a little bit. It was an awesome movie. I don't want to see it again. Okay? It was really good though. I don't want to hate on it. It was like, I'm used to Marvel movies. Okay? I'm not that deep anymore. I like action and stuff like that. It was a lot. Huh?
I had to pick up a book as soon as I got it.
Yeah. No, because it's funny. My son, before the movie, he had no idea. He ordered his Halloween costume. It was the Joker. So I was like, okay, that's cool. He's like, yeah, I want to be the Joker from Dark Knight. I saw the Joker. I was like, no. I don't even want you to even no. It was just too much, you know. Yeah, it's good. I recommend you see it, but you know, I don't know. What do you think?
I kind of like you, man. I was like, it explains the character great.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't want to be that character.
Yeah. It's like that could happen to a lot of people. Yeah. And me on the wrong day too. Yeah, it was good. But anyways, so I don't want to see that movie again. So I can't run that as an incentive. But a few of us went to the Haunted Forest. It was awesome. So there is something called Shocktober, okay, in Leesburg, which is, in many ways, it might be more scary.
No.
Okay, but it's a fun experience. I know, like, look, here's the thing. Like, think about this for you guys, right? Like, you gotta kill yourselves for these incentives, so your team kills themselves, right? They work hard because these are little things. You don't just win the trip. It doesn't work like that. You win the small office incentives, then you win the trip.
Yep.
Okay, so today is the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check my schedule. So on the 26th, okay, that's Saturday. Again, one recruit, 2,000 in premium, going to Shocktober by the 26th. All right, it was awesome. We did this a couple years ago. It's in Leesburg. It's very close. Okay, so it's not far. It's, you know, it's not Poolsville. You don't cross the ferry and then, you know, all that stuff. So it's going to be a great time. Come. It's a lot of fun. Qualify. They have food. The proceeds go to special needs kids as well. So it's cool, man. It's cool to go. A lot of fun. Make sure you qualify. Get back in the game. We have training tomorrow. All right, at 9:30. Set appointments. Obviously, some people will be going to the conference. Have a great time.
Yes.
And we're gonna have a great, productive weekend. All right. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I gave the check to Rodman. The check.
That's where I train.
So tomorrow, I'm talking
Okay, did she get her ticket? Yes. Oh, I'll get it.
Hey, Thomas.
What's that?